we have got what's going on with Amazon. Jesus Christ. Ugh. Fuck. Jesus Christ. So, in a good thing, Amazon workers in Albany file a petition to unionize. Yay! Here we go. Hey, another Sharon Janger. Well, I love Sharon Jang. She's awesome. So, here's the workers in rally. This was at the Staten Island LDJ5 rally that unfortunately our friends AOC and Bernie happened to be at that did not lead to a victory, but still happened. Amazon workers near Albany have officially filed a union petition with the NLRB to join the ALU after workers announced that their union campaign last month, according to the NLRB. If the workers are successful, they'll form the company's second ever union, joining the Staten Island union workers who voted to unionize in March after a groundbreaking union led by ALU, an independent union. According to the NLRB, the filing covers about 400 employees at the ALB1 warehouse. Unionizing employees need to gather signatures from at least 30% of the unit in order to qualify for a union election. In order to win the union, more than half the vote will have to be for the union. Like other Amazon workers who filed to unionize, workers are seeing better working conditions and higher pay. What a surprise. The main concerns I hear from workers about wages and safety, Heather Goodall, a lead union organizer in the campaign, told the Washington Post. Besides that, there's no job security. There's no way to rest on a 15-minute break. Workers want to be able to use the bathroom freely.
Right.
So when ALU announced the union campaign in July, the union wrote that, quote, Amazon has exploited us for too long. The only way we can pressure Amazon into treating us with respect is by uniting and forming a worker-led union. Well, we'd love to see the workers seize the means of production, so this is a good first step. The company has tried to pressure workers against voting for the union by posting anti-union flyers, messages on TV screens in the warehouse. Really? Come on. It's also held meetings that ran a slideshow with misleading claims that unions are a business that sell a service. Union lawyers so far have filed at least 5 unfair labor practice charges against the company and have accused it of illegal union busting. What a surprise.
Right.
The company said in a statement that, quote, it's opposed to unionization for its employees and that its focus remains on working directly with our team to continue making Amazon a great place to work. Yeah. Talk to some of the people in the warehouses because they won't tell you the same thing. At least not when the cameras are watching.
No.
If the filing is certified by the NLRB, the Albany warehouse will be the 4th in the company to undergo a union vote. Another Staten Island area warehouse seeking to join ALU voted against unionizing in May after the company led a fierce union-busting campaign, and of course, politicians got involved. In March, Bessemer, Alabama, Amazon workers vote to join the WDSU ended up being too close to call, with hundreds of contested ballots that are still being investigated by the NLRB. This was the second election for the Bessemer workers. Last year, the NLRB ordered a rerun election for the warehouse after finding that Amazon had illegally interfered with the union campaign. I know we covered that extensively too. I mean, that was gross. They were literally stopping people. They changed the patterns on the traffic lights so that the union leaders could not stop the people at the traffic light to ask them questions about unionizing. That's how far they went. They worked with the leaders of the town to change the traffic light pattern. Meanwhile, the first unionized warehouse is in limbo as the Labor Board reviews Amazon's objections to the union's win in Staten Island at JFK 8, delaying the bargaining process. Amazon's been cracking down on the union inside the warehouse in the meantime, firing several worker organizers and refusing to recognize the union. Wow, this sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And now I want to talk about my friend Matt. This guy.
You'll get a chance soon.
No, we're gonna talk to Matt soon, but we posted up a tweet. I posted up a tweet. Originally, Lucy got Chris Smalls' attention about a week and a half ago about his trip to LA, and he responded by saying, "This is what I'm doing. I'm organizing and whatever." And I said, "Look, Chris, we've been trying to talk to people at the union. Anybody." Whether it's you, is there anybody besides you, Derek, Angelica, whatever name, or your assistant, who you've put us in touch with that we can talk to. We'd love to talk to some of the workers, some of the leaders at different warehouses around the country. We want to learn how we can help and what we can do. And thank goodness, this gentleman, this great dude stepped up and said, yeah, I'll talk to you. Love to. And we set up a meeting, and we set up a time to record an interview, and Colin and I had a great conversation with him. And unfortunately, we had some audio issues on my side, and operator error.
You played yourself.
Yes, I did play myself. Operator error, unfortunately. And we lost a good portion of the interview. We're going to see what we can salvage from it, but we're going to redo the interview this week. Unfortunately, as a follow-up, and what happened further on the story was that the next day after we did our interview, this gentleman started doing a couple spaces on Twitter saying that he's organizing for ALU Kentucky. And on Friday afternoon, this happened. After months of organizing and facing retaliation from Amazon, I have been terminated. Today, not even 10 minutes into my shift, rest assured we're going to keep organizing, and this is going on my long list of unfair labor practice charges against Amazon. And there's a retaliation fund there.
Fuck?
Yeah. So there has been no response yet, honestly, that I've heard from Amazon Labor Union, which is really sad.
So far, which this happened August
Friday.
19th, right?
This happened Friday.
21st.
They always fire you on a Friday. But what I want to do is put this Twitter in the chat, and I also want to put a link to the Solidarity Fund for him and for the Amazon labor workers in that facility. That's the Campbellsville, Kentucky facility. Again, we got a little bit of a whiff of what was going on in that location. Again, I took 2 pages of notes during this conference, during this interview as well. There were so many little things that they're doing, but mostly it's about hours allocation and not giving people consistent shifts, and then keeping them. Again, it's very similar to what we're hearing in Starbucks, and then the Campbellsville facility where they currently are located. And again, and we'll talk about this, and I'll let Matt talk more about this when we talk next. There was a ton of, it doesn't have the automation that some of the newer facilities have, because it was one of the original Amazon centers, fulfillment centers. And so the workers are walking 15 to 20 miles per day to pick items in that facility. And that's unlike most of the other facilities. So I wanted to mention what's happening over there. Union busting is disgusting.
Did any of them ask for like any drip? Like maybe some drip will help.
Maybe some. Well,
you know?
Well, it's drip. He could use some cash dripped into his account for sure.
Sure. Maybe some merch. Maybe some merch will help.
Yeah, I don't think merch is
merch
going to help him pay his bills right now, but merch sales might. So
even if it's like Gucci merch, even if it's like Gucci. I mean,
yeah, okay.
I mean,
I see what you're trying to do here. Okay, so again, Matt from the Amazon SDF1, and again, support Matt, support workers always, especially ones who are retaliated against for trying to organize their coworkers. We're gonna get him back, and we're gonna have a conversation, and we're excited to do that. And I feel just awful that we didn't get a chance to get that aired before this happened. And we certainly will talk to him afterwards, and we 100% in the strongest way, are against what Amazon is doing here. Could not be more. What's the word? It's not condone. It's the other word. We're not condoning what they're doing at all. 100%. We're completely against what they're doing here. And someone will throw it in the chat. Yeah, screw these guys. Screw them.
Yeah.
Treat your workers right. Give them
fuck you, man.
Give him better hours. And again, he hadn't been working there like for 5 minutes. This guy, it'd have been at least 6 months. He talked about being hired as a blue shirt versus a white shirt, and being a temporary worker, and then getting permanent status. And they used They use that to create a two-class system. It was a fascinating conversation. Again, I can't wait to have it again. And what a great dude. So please support Matt, and please support any struggling workers. There are solidarity funds. The Ragtag Band at Ragtag Band has a list of solidarity funds and different strikes that are occurring and different unions that are trying to unionize and file with the NLRB all over the country. So again, shout out to all those guys, and I'm really sorry, Matt. You're getting done dirty, and you don't deserve this bullshit. And I hope that your union stands up for your rights and for worker rights all over the country. So